I have been practicing internal medicine for over 50 years. I started in 1971. God, I'm old. I'm 79 and I'm still going and I love it. But I have to tell you that the excitement in terms of staying healthy and using proactive wellness is something that I have appreciated over the years. And now more and more physicians, as they come out of training, are oriented towards preventive or proactive wellness, as opposed to when I graduated from Tufts Medical School in Boston, which is a very she medical school in 1971. I was considered a quack. Why? Because I was always into proactive wellness and preventive stuff, and everybody else who gets medical training says if it's not approved by the FDA, it's garbage. Well, nothing could be further from the truth. And I'm thrilled that medical school graduates today come out with a whole different orientation towards healthcare and staying healthy and what you should do, as opposed to when I was training. So 3 International is the company. And the reason I'm so excited about it is because of the science. So over these many years that I have been practicing internal medicine, I have been asked to look at a number of different companies that make nutrition and proactive wellness products. And I always ask people to show me the studies. I want to see the studies. I want to see the science behind it. And unfortunately, most companies don't have it. So when I got introduced to 3 International about a year ago, I said, show me the studies. And lo and behold, Dr. Dan Gubler, who is our chief science officer, he has the studies. And the reason he has the studies is because Dan Picot, who is the CEO of the company, is not afraid to spend millions and millions of dollars so that Dr. Dan can do his scientific studies to actually prove that these products, these 9 products that 3 International has, actually have they are the real deal. They have the science behind them. And we're going to go into that in a few minutes. And I'm going to try to demonstrate to you and convey to you some of the excitement that I have about these products just because of what they do. Now, let me start off by telling you that this is a startup company. It started in May of 2023. Wow. And here we are about 20 months later, and the company has sold about $150 million of these 9 products. Hold on. My wife has got some feedback. Honey? 20. Got some feedback. Okay. $150 million of these 9 products in 20 months. That's incredible. And the reason is because of the quality of the products. The name of this company is called 3 International, and it's all about doing 3 things: loving yourself, your family, and your community. The reason I'm excited to present this to you is not so much from the business point of view. I'm more excited about the products, because let me tell you what's driving the business. It's the products. And I feel like an authority on the products because of my medical training and 50 years of experience. And you're going to see very quickly as we get into these products why the company has sold 150 million of them in just 20 short months. So the company is basically founded in May of 23, and it's basically a group of international business builders. And it's headquartered in Utah, and they have additional offices in Hong Kong and in Indonesia. And as you may have just heard, Kathy and Abby are now in Taiwan because tomorrow the Taiwan office is opening. This company is in 15 countries around the world right now, but trust me, it's going to be worldwide very soon. Why? Because there are 8 billion people in this world, and my mission, and those of us who see it, is to introduce these wonderful products to 8 billion people. Because if 8 billion people start using these proactive wellness products, wow, the amount of disease and despair that we have in this world is going to go down considerably. So I say the products drive the business. It's not that the business drives the products. We have a very experienced group of leaders who basically are running the show. We'll get into that in a few minutes. In medical school, we always used to say, you see one, you do one, you teach one. So you would see a delivery of a baby, you would do a delivery of a baby, and you would teach a delivery of a baby. Well, look at the bottom of this screen. You know the way, you go the way, you show the way. Those people who you see up there are the leaders of this company. They are the lead distributors. They are basically showing us the most effective way to get the word out about these products. And one of the exciting things about this company is we all work together, as we'll get into this. So what are we doing? We're building a cross-border social e-commerce company. E-commerce, okay? Social meaning social media. The beauty of this is you don't have to sell. All you got to do is tell people, hey, take a look at these products. You know, do your due diligence, try them, see how you feel. Here's the facts, folks. 90% of people who try these products want to stay on these products. They basically put their own products, their own supplements or vitamins or minerals or nutraceuticals or whatever they've been taking. They put them to the side because they are so impressed with these products. And because it's a 90% success rate, that's why this company is growing like crazy. 150 million in 20 months. A startup. That's insane. If you know anything about business, that's insane. Here are the markets we're in. United States, Canada, China, Hong Kong, Macau, Indonesia. You can read the list. Stop and think, who do I know in any of those countries? Or who do I know that might know somebody in those countries? If you know anybody in those countries, overnight, you can have a business starting if that's what you want to do. But again, my excitement about this is the products. And if all of you tonight who are looking at this for the first time decide you just want to use products and that's all you want to do is be consumers, God bless, because that's a positive step in terms of helping you to stay healthy. You don't have to do this business. It's just we want to get the products across and let the whole world know that these products are phenomenal and they're available to anyone who wants to partake of them. But for those of us who are involved in spreading the word, which is what I am and others are, we want to basically look for people who are looking for a business opportunity, who might want to work on their own time and space, people who want to have better health and wellness, people who want to be connected to a group of people like me, very upbeat, positive-minded, proactive wellness people who can see it and basically understand that this is a very exciting trend in terms of helping the world to be a healthier place. And again, I got to tell you once more, I spent the whole day today with people who are having COPD and stroke and heart attack and diabetes out of control and all kinds of complications. And at one point, I was almost pleading with them. You got to get your sugar down. You got to stop smoking. You got to lose weight. You got to get your blood pressure down. You got to stay off salt. And you got to do this and you got to do that and you got to do this. And here I am tonight talking to a whole bunch of people on this Zoom who basically your head is in the other direction, 180 degrees. You want to stay healthy. You understand that you need to do things to stay healthy, and you don't need a board certified physician shouting at you or begging at you to basically change your ways. So here we go. I'm the old paradigm. This is what I did today. Reactive wellness. I was dealing with people who are sick. And the old thinking is you are what you eat and your DNA is your blueprint. What does that mean? Well, that means very simply that your genes are what you were born with and you're stuck. You can't do anything about it. Wrong. You are what you eat. That's what my mother always used to tell me. Wrong. It's not what you eat, it's what you absorb. And it's no longer reactive wellness. That's the old school. Now we're into proactive wellness, trying to do things to keep yourself healthy. So one of the most important things about this program is
Man,
that
you
Dr.
simply get
Dan,
out
our chief
this morning.
scientific
You don't
officer,
know if there
has
was wind.
developed a
Get out in the
method
window.
of, you
Get
know
out
what, there's a
in the
little
window.
noise, so
In
I am
Jesus'
going
awesome
to
name.
see.
You have
Okay.
no authority
He's
in the name
developed a
of Jesus.
method to basically
I
increase the
rebuke you in
absorption
the
of
name of
these
Jesus.
products. Okay. And we'll get into this in a
Get
minute.
behind
But
me,
the other
Satan, in
exciting
the
thing
name
is
of Jesus.
these
And to
products are all
leave now in Jesus'
phytonutrients. They're
matchless
all
name.
from
Get
whole
out
foods and plants.
You're out
And
that door
basically,
in Jesus'
the
name.
future of our existence is what's called epigenetics. Epigenetics is the ability of some kind of substance, in this case, our four products, four of our 9 products have been shown by Dr. Dan to be able to influence genes. We're going to get into that in a minute, but that is absolutely huge. Absolutely huge. So our products are all phytonutrients, and it's all about increased absorption. And of course, with that goes lifestyle and environment. And basically, you want to do whatever you can to do to keep yourself as healthy as you can. Okay. We have a board of what's called a scientific advisory board. This is one of the things that makes Three International truly unique. The guy up on the left corner, that's Dr. Dan Gubler. He is our chief scientific officer. He is paid by the company. He is a brilliant organic chemist who is basically, I don't know, about 45, 50 years old, who's been in this field for maybe 30 years. He's got something like 17 different patents. He's brought to market about 70 different products over the course of his career. He's trained at Caltech, which is considered like the Harvard of the West Coast. He's published. He's the real deal. If you Google Dr. Dan Gubler, and also look at some of his stuff on YouTube, you're going to be very impressed. Well, he is the guy who formulates our products. But all of these other folks that you see here in the picture are MDs, PhDs who are either in their own private practices or are working at university groups. And these are smart people from schools like Johns Hopkins and Mayo Clinic and MD Anderson. I mean, these are not slouchy people. And the most incredible thing is they volunteer their time. They volunteer their time on conference calls to help Dr. Dan on a regular basis to decide which kind of new products he wants to bring to market. Now, why did they do that? They do that because their heads have always been in the right place. They've always been thinking about proactive wellness and the importance of supplements and phytonutrition and things like that. So for them to get involved with Dr. Dan is basically a no-brainer because they're all on the same page. This is truly unique. Most nutritional and supplement companies don't have anything like this, especially on a volunteer basis. Okay. Now, Dr. Dan has this really exciting technology that's patented. It's called cellular absorption. And this is one of the first things that makes 3 products head and shoulders over any other company. You see, when you take a vitamin or a supplement, you absorb about 10%. So you pee out or you poop out 90%. So you may have had friends or family who say, oh, you take vitamins? Well, you've got expensive urine. Why? Because you're peeing out 90% of it. So Dr. Dan, he's been able to formulate a method. It's called cellular absorption. It's patented, and he's patented it, and he's got 12 different ways that he can increase the absorption of phytonutrients of supplements that you put in your mouth to get across the gut membrane in your intestine much quicker, and more importantly, to get into the mitochondria in the cells where the energy is produced. It's called cellular absorption technology. 12 different methods that he's developed. It's all patented, and it makes our products really unique. Now, what he does, Dr. Dan, is he goes out into the forest and the deserts, and he explores. That's the first circle over here. It's called Exploring with Dr. Dan. And if you want to take the time on our website on 3international.com, you can go to these videos of Dr. Dan in the forest, in the rainforest, in the Mojave Desert. And basically what he's looking for is nutrients and nutritionals plants. There are 600,000 species of plants, 600,000, and only 5% of them have been explored so far in terms of possible medicinal benefit. So Dr. Dan and his team, they pull bark and leaves and all kinds of stuff, fungi and all kinds of stuff that they find, and they bring it back to the lab. And the second part, the second circle, is called curation. And in curation, what they do is they decide what kind of products that they're going to continue to use and what has medicinal value and what doesn't. And then the products that they like, they apply this cellular absorption technology. And that's the key, because that gives value to our product. You know, if you spend $30 for a supplement and you absorb 10%, that means you're absorbing $3 worth and you're peeing out $27. Okay. In our case, our absorption of our 6 products that you take by mouth is anywhere between 35 and 95%. That's huge. Let me say that again. 35 to 95% of what you put in your mouth with our products actually gets across your gut membrane and into your cells, which means the value is tremendous. Plus, the efficacy is tremendous because you actually have what you put in your mouth. Now, the other thing that makes this company so spectacular is that all 9 of our products are included in this little thing called the PDR. The PDR used to be called the Physician's Desk Reference. And for those of you older, as I am, just think about when you went into your physician's office and he had this book on the desk, his desk, and it was like the Bible. It was called the PDR, Physician's Desk Reference. And we would open it up and we would look in that book to make sure that the prescription medication we were going to give you had no interaction with whatever kind of medicine you were already on. We wanted to check the dosage, interactions, the toxicity, the side effects. It was basically the Bible of any kind of pharmaceutical product. That was many years ago. Well, fast forward 30 or 50 years, 2 things have happened. Number 1, nutritionals and supplements have been accepted into the PDR, but you have to be accepted by the board of directors of the PDR. So if you go to pdr.net, and you click on company, you can read about the PhDs and the MDs in the PDR who basically do the due diligence to decide which products get in and which products are rejected from the PDR. We at 3 have nothing to do with the PDR. We had to apply just like everybody else has to apply. Now, of the supplement and vitamin makers out there, and God, there must be hundreds of them, there's only 21 that have been accepted to be able to put their products into the PDR, because the folks who do the science for the PDR have decided that those 21 companies make good products. But we, 3 International, we're the only one that has all nine of our products accepted into the PDR. That is huge. The other thing is it's not called Physician's Desk Reference anymore. It's called Prescriber's Digital Reference. Why? Because when I was in practice many years ago, only physicians could write prescriptions. But today, nurse practitioners and PAs, physician's assistants in many states, have the legal authority to write prescriptions. So what's happening is you find that in this Physician's Desk Reference, there are lots of companies that want to get in but can't get in because the quality of their products is not good enough. Now, I would suggest if you're taking some kind of vitamin or mineral or supplement now, that you go to pdr.net and actually enter whatever it is that you're taking, and you'll probably see, hold on one second, I'm going to see if I can mute everybody. Okay. Mute all current is. Okay, very good. Okay, you're probably going to see when you go to pvr.net that most of the vitamins or supplements you're taking are probably not included in the PVR. And the fact that we're in that is huge. Now, this PVR has been around since 1947, so it's not something that's new. And you can't buy your way in. You got to get it. You have to be accepted for publication based on the quality of your products. So this is a big deal. So here's one of the things that got me so excited when I was presented this about a year ago. Third-party clinical studies. First, the cellular absorption study. That's on the left. I mentioned that a minute ago. Look over here at this bar graph. On the extreme left side, you're going to see this little nub over here, and that's the industry average, 10% absorption. Now, look at these different colored bars over here. These are our products, and you can see it goes from anywhere from about 35% up to 95% absorption. So once again, the fact that Dr. Dan has shown in clinical studies, third-party clinical studies, what does that mean? That means he did his research and then he farmed it out to a separate independent lab, and he said, please repeat the experiments, repeat what I did, see if you come up with the same results. And they did. That's why it's called third party, a different party. So the absorption is really what makes this critical. The epigenetic study is really what gets me excited. So here's the lowdown on that. We have about 20,000 genes in our body, 20,000 genes. And Dr. Dan took 8 of these genes, and he decided that these 8 genes, he was going to expose them to our 6 products. Okay, at that time we had 6 products that you take internally. We did not have Visage, which we'll get into in a few minutes. That's our neurocosmetic. But Dr. Dan took these 6 products and he exposed these 8 genes to these 6 products. And lo and behold, he found some startling things. Well, one of those genes is called GLP-1, GLP-1. And that's the gene that's involved with weight loss and also stabilization of blood sugar by making sure your insulin levels are normal. GLP-1 is in the news because everybody's heard about Ozempic and Wegovy and medications. It's called semaglutide, and those are drugs that you inject into yourself, and what they do is they stimulate GLP-1, this gene, and basically it helps you to lose weight and also to get your blood sugar under better control. Well, Dr. Dan has proven in third-party clinical studies that 2 of our products, Revive and also Vitalite, also stimulate GLP-1. So think about that. Would you rather have your GLP-1 stimulated by an injection that's got all kinds of potential side effects? Or would you rather have it stimulated by 100% pure phytonutrient, which is what Revive and Vitalite are? Another gene he looked at is IL-6. IL-6, interleukin 6, is the gene that's associated with inflammation. Now, inflammation is a bad thing in our body. If we have inflammation in our body, it leads us to have an increased risk for some heavy-duty serious diseases like cancer, autoimmune disease, diabetes, stroke, heart attack, stuff like that. In fact, those of you who are already taking statins for cholesterol, you started out because 20 years ago, I was one of the first people, because I'm old enough to be doing this, to give people statins to lower their cholesterol. Well, what we found over the years is that statins lower inflammation. They lower IL-6 levels. So a lot of physicians today want patients who have high risk of heart disease and stroke to be on a low-dose statin. Not because you may have high cholesterol, but because it's been shown that statins lower inflammation. They lower the activity of IL-6. So, again, I ask you, would you rather be on a drug or would you rather use a phytonutrient like Dr. Dan has in terms of our products to basically lower IL-6 and decrease the amount of inflammation in your body? Now, these are just 2 of the 8 genes he looked at. Some of the other genes have to do with cognition and ability to remember things and ability to basically have more energy and to sleep better. And what he found were positive correlations between our products and the activity of these genes. In other words, these phytonutrients that Dr. Dan has developed have positive epigenetic effects, which means they can turn on or upload or upregulate or turn off or downregulate certain genes in our body that have negative effects. Now, if we have enough time at the end, by the way, Nilbert Nig is going to join us at the end of this. I've asked him to come on. He's one of our leaders in this company who has incredible knowledge about these products and this business. But if we have time, I want to go into some things that appeared in the New England Journal of Medicine, which is a scholarly journal that physicians read specifically about IL-6 and inflammation and, of all things, plastics and nanoplastics and microplastics. And that's going to be important as we get to it when we discuss Purify, which is one of our detoxifiers. The third part of the study that Dr. Dan did is this superoxide study. Superoxide is a substance that forms and causes inflammation in our body. It's a bad substance. Dr. Dan has shown in clinical studies, third-party correlated, that Revive will reduce the amount of superoxide by 36%. So again, the whole point is, folks, this is the real deal. This is not just theory. This is proven and third-party verified. Okay, so here are what are called the 6 wellness guardians. In our company, we have 6 products that you take by mouth, and then you have this neurocosmetic that has just been recently brought out called Visage. That's perhaps the most exciting of all 9 products. With the Vitality, basically it's called the Nourisher, and basically it's a combination of superfoods and superfruits. It's got 10 different kinds of berries in it. It's got alfalfa in it. It's got barley. It's got chlorophyll. It's got wheatgrass. It's got 72 trace minerals. It's got amino acids. It's got all kinds of proteolytic pancreatic enzymes such as protease and lipase and amylase. It's also got omega-3, 6, 7, and 9, which are fatty acids that are important in terms of decreasing inflammation. And it's also got probiotics, which are 100 million count of organisms that are good for the body. You may be aware that in our gut, we have good organisms, good bacteria like lactobacillus. If you use yogurt, you'll see very often when you go to your yogurt, it'll say this culture of yogurt has 10 billion colonies of lactobacillus or something like that. And then we have bad bacteria in our gut, E. coli. Well, this product, Vitality, has probiotics. Now, what does this product do? It gives you energy. The number one thing that people talk about when they take Vitality is the energy. So when I talk to people and I ask them, are you open to looking at some proactive wellness products that will improve your health and give you great energy? People jump on it. Energy? Wow, I'd love more energy. That's a big hook. This is what Vitality does. It's great for the eye, for the brain, but again, it just gives you that energy. The second product is called Revive. Revive is called the Restorer. Now, let me tell you, as I go through these products, I'm going to tell you what Dr. Dan developed them for, and then I'm going to tell you what we have been seeing happen, which was not at all expected by Dr. Dan, but gets very exciting. The first thing is, let me tell you that the FDA, the Food and Drug Administration, is very, very strict in terms of what supplement and vitamin makers can say. You cannot make health claims. If you start making health claims about your products, they close you down in a nanosecond. So we don't make health claims. But what's happening is, as more and more people are using these products, they're getting up and giving what are called personal testimonials and telling people about what their own experience is. So with that, let me tell you that Dr. Dan developed Revive as what's called the Restorer. It's basically a combination of things that's supposed to support healthy joints and basically ease muscle soreness and stiffness for when you exercise, either on the treadmill or you lift weights or you do running or walking or anything like that. It's basically supposed to promote what's called post-exercise recovery. The closest analogy I can give you is what the University of Miami did 100 years ago. It wasn't 100 years ago, it was 50 years ago. And they came out with something called Gatorade. You've probably all heard of Gatorade. Gatorade was developed to basically replenish or restore electrolytes and minerals and nutrients to athletes who were on the sports teams at the University of Miami. Gatorade. Well, that's what this was originally intended to be, the Restorer. But here's what's happened. In the 20 months that this company has been in existence, people get up at conferences and say, oh, I was told to take this because it would help me after I did a workout. But let me tell you, I have gout, which is an inflammatory condition where uric acid crystals precipitate into your joints and you have very painful toes and feet and elbows and knees. And people get up and say, since I've been on Revive, I've had 1/2 of the number of gouty attacks. Or people get up and say, I have bone-on-bone osteoarthritis in my knee, and I'm going to have a knee replacement. And darn, this Revive has really decreased the amount of pain. Or people get up and say, I have fibromyalgia, which is unfortunately a chronic and very hard to treat problem where people have inflammation of muscles and joints. Fibromyalgia, you may have it, you may know someone who has it, and it's a miserable state of affairs because it's just constant anti-inflammatory after anti-inflammatory to help you relieve the pain and suffering from the fibromyalgia. Well, people get up and say, this Revive has really made a difference in the degree of difficulty I have with my fibromyalgia, or my tension headaches, or my back pain, or my shoulder pain. All kinds of things that Dr. Dan never dreamed about. Now, does the company say that this happens? Absolutely not. Why? Because we can't make health claims. On the other hand, when you have people stand up at conferences and say, listen, folks, I don't care what he developed it for, this is what's happening for me, and I want to tell the world, that's really exciting. And as I'm going to go through these products, I'm going to tell you little vignettes of what people are saying about what these products are doing for them that Dr. Dan never dreamed about when he first developed them. So what is in Revive? Revive's a combination of things. It's got curcumin in it. It's got boswellia in it. It's got black cumin oil. It's got grapeseed extract. It's got shiitake mushrooms. It's got something called sea blackthorn fruit oil. And it's got piperine and menthol to make sure it gets absorbed. But it's not so much important for you to know what's in it. It's important for you to know what it does. Revive is a great product. People basically are using Revive instead of using Advil or ibuprofen or any kind of anti-inflammatory when they get any aches or pains. It's a wonderful product. The next product is called Immune, and that's called the Protector. Now, why is he called it the Protector? Because in our gut is our immune system. You may be aware that bacteria in the gut has a lot to do with our immune system. As I said before, there are good bacteria and there are bad bacteria. The lactobacillus is good, the E. coli is bad. And what Dr. Dan has developed is a product here that has what's called quorum sensing technology. And basically what that does is it prevents communication between the bad bacteria, such as E. coli, to let the effect of the good bacteria, such as lactobacillus, flourish. So it's a wonderful product because it enhances your immune system. Now, why do you have to be worried about your immune system? Well, if you've been reading the news, there's something called measles coming along. We're going to be slammed with measles pretty soon as this thing slammed across the country. Now, I don't want to tell you that if you take Immune, you're not going to get measles, but you certainly want to do everything you possibly can to keep your immune system up to par, because bacteria and viruses are all around, and it's really important that you keep yourself and your immune system as high as you possibly can. Purify. Purify is what's called the detoxifier. This is a product that Dr. Dan developed to help basically get rid of impurities in our body. It's basically a product that is loaded with all kinds of good things that stimulate the five organs of detoxification in our body, specifically the liver, the lungs, the kidney, the colon, and the skin. So it's got something in it called turmeric shale powder that's loaded with something called fulvic acid that basically helps to get rid of toxins in our body. It's got coriander leaf and something called dandelion root, which basically stimulates the kidneys and helps them to be better act in terms of getting rid of impurities through the urine. It's got kelp and apple pectin, which basically stimulates the colon to get rid of bacteria, to get rid of impurities and toxicities in our system. It's got chlorophyll in it, and chlorophyll binds toxins. That's the reason why the capsule itself is green, because of the chlorophyll. It's got liposomal milk in it and something called burdock root, which basically helps in terms of getting the liver to function better as an organ of detoxification. It's got mullein leaf, which stimulates our lungs to do a better job in terms of helping us to get rid of toxins. And it's also got stinging nettle in it, which also helps our kidneys. Now, it was developed as something to help to purify your system. But here's what's happening. People who have irritable bowel syndrome, or irritable IBS-C, irritable bowel syndrome with constipation, with bloating and difficulty with moving their bowels, have found amazing results on Purify. Again, does the company tell you this? No, because the company can't make health claims. But when people get up at conferences and tell you, I've been struggling with IBS and now I'm on Purify, and it's like night and day. And the other day, some lady got up and said, I have asthma. And since I've been taking this Purify, the number of attacks of asthma I have decreased significantly. And again, we're just in the infancy with this company. There are only, I don't know, I'm going to guess maybe 100,000 people, if that, who are using these products on a regular basis now. But there's 8 billion people in this world. Can you imagine, as more and more people use these products, the number of stories about what all these products are going to do for us is just going to be mind-blowing. So this Purify is really a big deal. Now, Eternal is the next one, is called the Rejuvenator. What's Eternal? Eternal are basically antioxidants. What's an antioxidant? An antioxidant helps us to get rid of free radicals. What are free radicals? Free radicals are substances, molecules that are formed as a natural process of our metabolic pathways. And if you have too many free radicals in your system, that's bad news, because these are small, uncharged, very active molecules that if you accumulate them in significant numbers, it can lead to real bad things like cancer and diabetes and all kinds of bad degenerative kinds of diseases. So you don't want to have free radicals. You want to have antioxidants in your system. Well, what's an antioxidant? An antioxidant is basically something that will help to keep you healthy. And of course, you've probably all heard about CoQ10. CoQ10, everybody's heard about CoQ10. It's an antioxidant, and it also happens to be good for your heart. Why is ours special? Because ours is absorbed 3 times better than just about any CoQ10 out there on the market. But in addition, it's also got glutathione, and glutathione is a very powerful antioxidant. It's probably the most powerful antioxidant. And then, of course, we've got resveratrol. Now, those of you who drink red wine know all about resveratrol, because that's also an antioxidant that's in red wine. But in addition to the CoQ10 and the resveratrol and the glutathione, it's also got superfruits in it, and it's also got collagen in it as well. So this is a great product in terms of keeping you healthy. Now, that's what Dr. Dan says. So here's what people who are taking it say. Menopausal women get up and say, wow, this Eternal has done wonders for my hormonal status and helped me with my menopausal symptoms. Stop and think about that, folks. Do you know how many millions and hundreds of millions of women there are out there who have trouble with menopause and menopausal symptoms, who go to gynecologists and internists and are taking all kinds of hormones and products like that? If they can get on Eternal and they can get relief, my God, what a game changer. The other thing that's happened with Eternal is people get up and say, sleep. I'm sleeping so much better on Eternal. The other thing that happens is people get up and say, my GERD, my gastroesophageal reflux disease. Italians call it agita. Non-Italians call it heartburn. But GERD is a major problem in this country with agita and discomfort in the esophagus, and Eternal does wonders. So between sleep and between GERD and between menopausal symptoms and more things that I'm sure are going to come as more and more people use it, this is a big deal. Collagen. Collagen is our last guardian that we take by mouth, and that is basically pure collagen. It's 5 grams of collagen in each one of these little packages, and it's basically deep sea fish collagen. It's pure collagen, very high quality. And in addition to that, they've got hyaluronic acid in it and biotin and keratin. Now, what does this do? It helps you with your skin and with your hair and with your nails. Now, let me stop and tell you that internists and pain management physicians and orthopedists inject hyaluronic acid into people's joints who have bone-on-bone osteoarthritis to see if that will reduce some of the pain. Hyaluronic acid, it's sold by a trade name is Synvisc. So you or your parents or your friends may have had Synvisc injections into the knees. Hyaluronic acid is in our collagen. When you take this, not only are you going to look better in terms of your skin, your nail, your hair, but you're also going to have much better use in terms of your joints because of the hyaluronic acid. So less joint pain is one of the real important things about using collagen. And again, the company doesn't say this, but people get up at conferences and say this. You know, I went to the convention in Salt Lake City last year, and Dr. Schneider, who is the head of the Scientific Advisory Board, he got up on the stage and he said to this group, listen, folks, we can wow you with all the science and the clinical studies and all the double-blind study and all the science, but you don't care about that. What you want to know is, does it work? Am I going to get good results? And that's the exciting part about this, because as I'm relating to you, as more and more people use it, the results are getting better and better. Now, here comes the blockbuster. This product is Visage. This came out in August of 2024, and it's the world's first neurocosmetic. And basically, what you do with this is you put it on your skin. You put a little bit on your face and your neck. It's called a neurocosmetic because the cosmetic means you apply it to your skin. It's called neuro because of the following reason. When you put it on your skin, on your face, and on your neck, it makes your skin look good. Dr. Dan likes to say, when you look good, you feel good. But here's what's happening. The product, it's plant-based. There are 4 plants in this Visage serum. The plant-based products stimulate the nerves under your skin where you apply it. So your face and your neck, the nerves get stimulated, and they send signals to your brain. And your brain releases what are called neurotransmitters. What are neurotransmitters? Those are elements that basically our brain releases to help our body stay in sync. 3 neurotransmitters in particular are released as a result of this Visage. One is called dopamine. The next is called serotonin. The third is called DHEA. And Dr. Dan, if you look over here on the left, Dr. Dan's got studies here to show you before and after levels of these 3 neurotransmitters. So why would you want to increase dopamine formation in your brain as a result of using the Visage? Why? Because dopamine is important for 3 reasons. Number 1, movement. People who have Parkinson's disease. If you've ever seen Michael J. Fox, I think is probably the most famous person with Parkinson's disease. They have difficulty with moving. They have rigidity. They have cogwheel rigidity. They have a shuffling gait. They don't function well in terms of movement. So dopamine helps us to be more fluid and more agile. So the first M of dopamine is movement. The next M of dopamine is mood. Dopamine increased in our system makes us feel brighter and makes us feel smoother and sharper. The third is M in dopamine is motivation. Studies have shown that if you have more dopamine in your system, you're motivated and you can get more accomplished. So when we get off this call, Google dopamine and you'll read about the 3 M's: movement, mood, and motivation. It's huge. The next neurotransmitter that's released from our brain because of this massage is serotonin. You may be aware that there are people who are depressed and they don't have enough serotonin in their system. So physicians like me write prescription drugs to increase the amount of serotonin in the bloodstream. Well, when you use Visage, you're increasing the level of your serotonin. What does that do for you? Number one, your mood is much better. Number two, you sleep better. Number three, your cognition is better. Your mental retention is better. You just basically glow. Serotonin only is a positive kind of effect, and the more you can get, the better it is. And the third is DHEA, which stands for dihydroepiandrosterone, which is a neurotransmitter that's made by the adrenal gland and also by the brain. And again, it helps in terms of mood and concentration. So when Dr. Dan says, when you use Visage, you look better and you feel better, you've got to understand that there's a lot of science behind the feeling better because of the increase in the neurotransmitters. And this is a product that no one else has. This is patented by Dr. Dan. And I got to tell you, folks, this sells out over and over and over because it's so effective. So those are our 9 products, and each one of them is exciting. And basically, again, the reason why this is growing so quickly is because the products work. So getting back to the business, what we are doing, those of us who are excited about these products and basically want to spread the word, my goal is to have 8.1 billion people hear about these products and hopefully start using them. We basically want to be the people that are going to get out the word. And it's so easy because, again, folks, 90% of people who try this like this and stay on it. So you don't have to muscle anybody. You don't have to sell them. All you got to do is say, go to the QR code, go take a look at some of the stuff that Dr. Dan has on the website, the videos, the scientific papers, and you decide for yourself and try it. And of course, everybody says, oh, I got to try it to see if it works. And I say, well, you just go right ahead, because I know that 90% of the people who try it are going to stay with it. That's the exciting part. So if you decide you want to help us to spread the word, you sign up in this business, and basically it gives you just what you see on this slide. It's basically cookie cutter. You don't, for those of you who have never had your own business, you don't have to go out and start worrying about how am I going to get this together and that together. You basically just plug in and follow the very simple system that the company has set up. So you get your own robust website, it's e-commerce ready, you get a back office, you get marketing and media tools, you training and support. I mean, it's basically all done for you. Okay. Now, if you decide to join us in this business, there are multiple ways to generate income. And perhaps I don't really want to go into too much of this other than to tell you that we are blessed because we have one of the big hotshots in Mary Kay, who retired and then joined this company a year or two ago. And I asked her at a recent convention, so tell us, how does Mary Kay compensation plan deal, compared to ours? And I was so pleased to hear her say, this is hands down much better. Number one, about 40%, give or take, of all of the income that the company earns comes back to us, the distributors as commissions and bonuses. Number two, for those of you that have been in this industry before, there's no breakaway. All I'm saying here is you're not going to work hard and lose any of the benefits of building an organization. But again, I want to go back to stress. The purpose of this call is not necessarily to convince everybody to do this business. The purpose of my call is to basically convince everybody, try the products. Because I'm telling you that 90% of you who are trying it for the first time are going to love it and continue with it. But if you decide to join us in this business, there's retail commissions, there's bonuses, there's overrides, there's all kinds of wonderful things. But again, don't take it from me. Take it from people such as Nilbert, who you're going to hear from in a few minutes, and others who have been around the block with this business many, many more years than I have. And they're going to tell you in terms of the business point of view. But again, the reason why I'm so excited about this and why I think this is such a home run is because the quality of the product. Because again, if it was garbage, number one, I wouldn't be involved in it. And number two, oh, by the way, there are probably 1,000 physicians, nurses, dentists, chiropractors, dietitians who are already involved in this thing, again, because of the science. The company gives you all kinds of wonderful trips for those of you who are building businesses, Vietnam, Cabo. The company is going to go to France and Monaco. I mean, Dan Picot, the CEO, basically is very generous and wants everybody who wants to help spread the word to feel part of the company. So at this point, you got two options. Number one, you can decide, you know what? I got plenty of money. I got plenty of free time. I got no stress. I don't need any extra income. I'm just going to use these products. Why? Because I've got high blood pressure, or I've got diabetes, or I have a sister or a brother who has some fibromyalgia, and I don't want to deal with that. And I just want to be proactive and keep myself as healthy as I can. So I want to be a customer. And you can be a retail customer. It doesn't cost you anything. And then you can go to a website, whoever introduced you to this, and you can buy whatever products you want. And you put it on your charge card and the company sends it to you. And that's it. And you order whenever and whatever you want. That's called a retail customer. Or the other option is you can become what's called a business builder. And a business builder just means basically that you want to help to spread the word like we are doing. Now, even if you're a customer, you're going to spread the word because here's what's going to happen. You're going to start to use these products and then you're going to feel good about it. And your neighbors and friends are going to say, oh, Bob, you look, wow, what are you doing? You got so much energy. Your skin looks better. You just seem like you're on fire. And basically, I'm going to say, well, try some of this stuff. I started using these products from 3 and they're out of sight. And that's how you're going to build basically a group of people who hear about these products. But you're doing it just out of sheer love because you want to share something good that's happened to you. You have no interest at all in making money. The business builders, on the other hand, basically want to make some money as well as to share the word. So at this point, you enroll as a brand ambassador. You pay $30 a year to the company, not to each other, but to the company. And then what you can do is you can start buying products at wholesale. Now, the company, if you're going to do this as a business builder, the company says, listen, you can put your toe in the water or you can dive in, depending upon whatever you want to do. And some people come in at an intro pack and buy 3 of the most common products, which are the Eternal and the Immune and the Vitality for $200. Or some people buy the intro pack, which is the Visage Collection, which is a cleanse and a toner and the serum. Or some people buy the premium pack, which is $600 and gives you 1 package of each of the 9 products, enough for a month. That's what I strongly suggest everybody who just wants to dabble and get their feet wet with this and just try the products buy. Why? Because I want you to experience all 9 of these products for 1 month, because I know from experience that 90% of you who try it are going to love it and come back for more. It doesn't necessarily mean you're going to do the business, but you're going to come back for more. And then some of us who see this and want to basically share the story quicker, we come in at a business builder pack for $13.60 or a pro collection pack at $2,800. Again, it all depends on what your goals are, what you want to do. It depends on how much you can afford, but there's no pressure to do anything at all. When people tell me, I love this whole idea, but I'm really strapped, I say come in at the lower levels. If you can't afford $200, buy one box at $50 and just try it and get going. If you can afford to come in at the higher level, do that. It's totally up to you. But the beautiful thing about this business, if you're going to join us in this business, is that we all work together. Because in network marketing, basically, it's basically a group effort. And what I love to tell people is I don't make any money unless you make money. So my goal is to be there to support you and to help you to spread the word because we all are on the same page. We all have the same goals and we all are excited about the products. And with that, I'm going to stop and ask if Nilbert is on the phone. And let me see. All right. Nilbert, are you there? Okay, Fontaine, would you like to make a few comments about your experience with this?
Sure, I'd love to.
Yeah, you want to just introduce yourself?
I can. My name is Fotine Halakis Kopriva. I live in Yuba City, California. And I've been on the product for the last 2 years. The thing that is so amazing is the products have helped me come off of 13 of the 14 medications that I was on for all kinds of things. And you've talked about so many different things, Dr. Bob, and I really appreciate how you get in to explain from the medical side of things, which is really important because for me, one of the most important aspects of being able to have good nutrition was being able to come off of those medications because of all the side effects. I've come off of 4 diabetic medications. I'm no longer diabetic. I've come off of statins and hypertension medication. I've come off of neuropathy medications. I'm no longer on any steroids for pain. Revive is my friend, and I definitely take more of the product than the typical recommendation because I have chronic issues in my body for such a long time. I am, let's say, I'm dosing to help that mitigate more problems and try to stay off any degradation of the diseases. So it is amazing when you feed the body nutrients that it needs, how it can respond. And it's been 2 years, but when I started the product, the very first thing, I had my knees were buckling because I'm overweight. I've been overweight all my life. Even though I've lost 68 pounds, I'm still considered obese. I was morbidly obese before, and my knees were buckling. I couldn't walk very far because my knees would literally cause me to fall down. So I have a service dog to help me get back up. Well, guess what? 2.5 months on our collagen was amazing because I was at a conference, the very first convention conference, the launch that we had in Salt Lake City with a friend, and I'm running all over Salt Lake, the palace, and I'm like, my knees aren't buckling. I wasn't having the fear of falling down. I didn't have my service dog with me. And I asked my friend, I said, have you seen me have any problems? She goes, no, you're keeping up with me great. And it hit me like a ton of bricks. The only thing different that I had done was I included collagen into my everyday usage. I had been using collagen powders that you got at Sam's Club and Costco for years, trying to help myself because I knew I was basically bone on bone, and they weren't doing any good. I lost 60 pounds and I still had problems. My knees were still having problems. So I had started collagen with 3 after I had already lost 60 pounds. But during that time, I was using the other stuff and I still didn't have any improvement. And in 2.5 months with the product, I saw a huge difference. I literally don't have fear of walking anymore. I can literally go and do what I need to do. And I can't tell you, I am definitely a proponent for good nutrition and good food intake, and getting away from seed oils and all the things that we know we should be doing, but we don't because we're lazy. But I'll tell you one thing, Alicia Cavenger, one of the chiropractors who's in the business, I saw recently, and I asked her what she'd been doing, and she had done such a great job. She's just kind of like lost her weight and she looks amazing. And so I talked to her for a little bit, and she's increased her Vitalite, which is the normal vitamins that increase our GLP-1 expression, up to 3 a day. So I've been doing that, and it's definitely taken the edge off for me, and I've been able to crack my stall of weight loss that I've had for a year. And I'm telling you, I feel so good because I'm down 5 pounds in the first month. I'm down another 3 pounds. I'm hoping another couple of pounds by the end of this month. And that's a nice, steady weight loss that's healthy for people. And if you're serious about weight loss and things, and if somebody needs to, they can get a hold of me. I'd be happy to talk to them. But our products are amazing in every aspect. And I really seriously think we don't do enough to explain the true benefits of how incredible they are because they work. So
Thank you.
you're welcome.
Is RB Frost on the phone? RB, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Could you share with us your amazing story?
Well, I still this about 14 days now since the last time we talked. But I was on the Mila shared some of the products with me, and I was in 2 motorcycle accidents and had a lot of chronic pain. I was in the chronic pain management program. Was entering into it a second time coming up due to like insurance issues and getting set up with the program through Kaiser. And I would say on the around 7 or 8 days of taking, I wasn't even taking the Vitale yet. Oh, wait a minute. What is this? Yeah, the Vitale. Yeah, I wasn't taking the Vitale. I was just taking the Purify and
I think you're on the Revive.
Purify and the Revive and the packets, the antioxidant packets. And I just, you don't think, it's funny because you don't think about it right away, but you're like, hey, I'm not in pain. I'm not feeling any pain today. I'm not feeling it, and like the swelling, I would have swelling around my knees. I eat like a primarily plant-based diet. The biggest issue with that, as I was telling you, Dr. Bob, is that I didn't take any supplements at all. I was depending on the food primarily. And I know many people that do that, but they do take supplements as well. And they were telling me to take supplements, but I just wasn't interested because I just didn't feel like it was worth the money. The absorption levels, I was aware of that. And how do you regulate that? How do you regulate how much your body's absorbing? So the short story is I was taking a step at a time, going down the stairs. I was starting to feel like, I have a strong faith in a higher power than myself, like a God and everything. And I was just like, whatever, I'm still going to just keep going. I'm going to keep moving, but I was in pain. After 8 days of taking those products, those 3 products, I felt like the pain threshold went down definitely half or a little bit more than half, and my ability to walk up and down the stairs without feeling pain in the joints, and considering because of the accidents and just I'm going to be 60 this year. They say that you naturally just start to kind of acquire what is it, arthritis, I was like, okay, well, I hear that, but I'm not gonna completely subscribe to that. I was like, there's some other things going on too. So I today how I feel at 14 days, I feel freaking amazing. Like I told my boys, I have two sons, I said, you guys ready to start going to shoot some hoops again? Because I'm, what's up?
Well,
So
thank you. Thank you. The most amazing thing is I met RB on a Saturday and he had just started taking the Revive and he was telling us about his shoulder pain. And he said after 5 days, well, I haven't seen much. And I said, come on, be real. Give it a break. I mean, we tell people 90% of people see great results within a month, 30 days. And here he is on 5 days and he's not sure. Fast forward 3 days later, I'm on the phone with him. He says, I'm a different person. I said, what? He said, just in the last 3 days, it's kicked in and I've had amazing results. So, again, it's the quality of the product and what people are experiencing that's driving this company forward 150 million in 20 months. And just, it's a shooting star. Okay, Stephanie, are you on the phone?
thanks.
Steph, are you on the phone?
Hi, Dr. Bob. Yes, I am.
Hi, could you share with us a little bit about your experience?
Sure. I actually take all 6 product in the beginning when Sally, who introduced the product to me, I was barely walking at the time a year ago. And after, long story short, after 3 weeks, my pain was reduced to like 95 or 8%, like painless. I was like amazing. I able to walk up and down the stair. Um, I was so happy about that. And my cholesterol would drop down from 350 something to 220. And after another 6 months, my doctor not believing me, and take another test and do it again. And another 6 months, come back now, my 170. And because I don't want to take medication at first, and I never want to. So now I ask her, say, no, you don't have to take medication. You just watch out what you eat now. That's all. So I was so happy about that. And also my son have autism, ADHD, and those kids drive me nuts. And anyways, he takes 5 product because not the collagen, save the collagen for me. So and then after that he feel little different, little calm. But after the Visage, I can tell people Visage is really help for mood. And my son is a lot more calm and sweeter boy now than before. And he's the main thing is a lot more calm than before, and help to sleep better. The Visage serum, super serum. Yeah, pretty much I have a lot of testimonial, but I can have all day. But pretty much, that's all I share today for people. So if you're not on it yet, try to take all 6 product in the first 3 months. And after that, you can choose and pick. But then please get on the product and try. Is like a gift from God. It helped I walk again now. My manager actually a couple manager and my other people, colleagues, follow me take the 3 because before I won't able to walk to 4 to meeting. I always take elevators. Now I just run upstairs and run down there, and people like, whoa, what do you do? So I share, and now more people and actually trying the 3 products now. So happy I can help more people. Thank you.
Thank you. And finally, Jewel,
Thank you,
are you
Albert.
there? Jewel, are you there? Jewel Joy, are you there?
Hi, everybody.
Hi, Jewel. You
Hi,
want
Dr. Bob. Hi, everyone. Good evening.
Jewel, tell us your story with the products.
Oh yeah, I really thank God for the 3 because it helps me and my husband for getting stronger each day, and I have knee pain before, and it was gone now. No more pain. And Purify, I really like because it cleanses our system, and number one product that makes me really strong is the Vitality. Vitality, I really feel the strength, extra strength when I take Vitality, and also the Eternal. It's superb.
Mhm.
Thank you. Thank you. And Sally? Whoops, Sally. I'm looking for Sally.
Sally,
Wait, I gotta ask Sally if she wanted to say a few words. Sally, can you hear us?
Yes, I hear you.
Okay, you want to relate your story?
Oh, mine is simple. When I first started, I had a knee pain for overuse my knee for 2.5 months. Carry the pain, and I have like 2 story, 3 stories in the house, 2 story, and then so walk up and down with lots of pain, and ended up after I took the product for about a week, and I realized my knee pain is gone. So I definitely try to see if maybe I was just thinking, you know, try to psych myself saying that it's no pain, no gain, but ended up after a week, and then continued to watch myself, and the pain never came back. That's it.
Thank you, Ate Awa.
Mine is very mine is very the testimonial is strong. Yeah. Mhm.
Good.
Yeah.
Well, folks, I just want to thank you all for being on this call. I know we have we've gone long, but I feel that the more I talk about these products, the more excited I get, the more excited I can get people to try them. I'm telling you that the experience is that if you try it, 90% of you are going to have a positive result within 30 days. And as you've heard from RB, sometimes it doesn't even take 30 days. But I just want to again stress to you what we're starting to hear now when menopausal women get up at conferences and say, my God, this Eternal has done wonders for my menopausal symptoms, which I was struggling with. Wow. That is a huge market that this is going to play to, because anytime you can have a phytonutrient, all natural, no side effects, no contraindication kind of product to help you to improve your health situation, it's a home run. And I'm just so excited, and the potential here and where the company is going to go as more and more millions and hundreds of millions and soon billions of people are using these products is just going to be huge. And I'm so pleased that so many of you on this call see the value of proactive wellness, as opposed to, as I started an hour ago, with what I've done all day, which is basically just patching up people, giving them prescriptions, reactive wellness. Unfortunately, the horse is out of the barn, that kind of thing, versus what we're trying to do here is to keep everybody healthy. Anyway, I appreciate you spending time with me tonight. I hope I have stimulated you. I hope I have given you some things to think about. I would encourage you to go to pdr.net and punch in whatever supplement or mineral or vitamin that you're taking and see if it shows up. You can also enter all 9 of our products into pdr.net, and you will see that they all show up. We have really great products. And once again, that's why this is on fire, because the quality of the products. And that's really where it's at. And with that, I wish you all a good night.
Okay.
Thank you, Dr. Bob.
Okay.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Okay, Dr. Bob.
Good night.
Everyone. Good night.
Thank you, everyone. See you next Monday.
Okay, next Monday.
Record.